For those of you who have been around on my channel for any amount of time, you're probably pretty familiar with this map. This world was created on version 0.6.1 of MCPE, way back in like 2013 or something like that. And ever since I started making all these buildings and making a ton of videos on this world, you guys have always asked me for the seed. And while that is a pretty easy thing to give you guys, it's always been sort of impossible. And this is why. I made a video about this way back in the beginning of 2014, but today I kind of want to go into a little further depth. Now, as I can recall from whenever I actually created this world, I don't remember typing in a seed, like any specific word or number or anything. And typically whenever you don't type in a specific seed, you usually get a long string of just random numbers in a random order, which is kind of what I expected to see whenever I go to the seed list of my worlds. But what's so strange about this world in particular is that the seed just shows the number 0. And if you actually go back to one of the versions that this world is compatible with, I went back to 0.6.1, since that's the original version that I created this in, and you type in the seed 0 in the world creation menu, and you hit create, it's a completely different world. Strange enough though, if you keep typing in 0, it's the same world every single time, but it's not my seed. This kind of led me to believe that there was some sort of glitch and or bug that created my seed, I guess. Or maybe not created my seed, or made it so that my seed shows up as 0. Now, I thought I was kind of the only person who would run into this bug, but it turns out I'm actually not. There are actually a few posts around on the internet. They're kind of hard to find, but if you look hard enough, you will find them, of people saying how their seeds are reported to have just the number 0, and that's it. And there's no other way to get the seed. Even if you do the command /seed in the command menu, it still doesn't show up, which is really interesting, because even if you dig deep into the code of the world, I'm sure there's a way to find the seed somehow, but the thing is with me is I don't really know what specifically I'm looking for. I'm sure it's in there somewhere, but I can't find it. So rather than endlessly digging around to try to find the seed itself, I've kind of taken matters into my own hands. So what I did was I went on the Windows 10 version of the game, which is essentially, at this point, a port of the Pocket Edition version. So I actually went into the folder where all the worlds are saved at, and if you go to single player, which is what I titled it, I took the original level.dat files and I copied them into a new world. Specifically the dat_old file, because that should be the original seed, the original blank seed that spawned in whenever I first created the world. Which did not seem to work. But strange enough, obviously the original world was a limited size world. Whatever the original border size was, I don't know specifically, but I then transferred it to an infinite world. And strange enough, whenever I replace the files in a new world folder, and then I go and load up the world, it's exactly the same as the surrounding land of my original map. Like, I can see exactly where my map should be at, but it's not there. And I don't know if this is actually how this works. I'm honestly guessing. But I feel like the dat_old file should be the original map. But whenever I copy and paste it in, it doesn't show up. In fact, if you even look in the file itself, it shows that it was a random seed. It doesn't even give me a list of the actual seed that was used, which would be really, really helpful. Now that was in the dat_old file, and even in just the regular level.dat file, it still shows a random seed. So still, even to this day, I still cannot figure out what is wrong with that. I don't know specifically what causes that bug to happen. I remember reading a post from somebody a few months ago, but I can't, if I can find it, then I'll throw it up on the screen, but right now I can't as I'm searching for it. I'm pretty sure it said something like, when your device suddenly shuts off or something, and you're like in the world or whatever, the seed or something, or the world itself will then become corrupt, and that could cause the seed to be messed up, or it said something like that. If I can find it, I'll definitely throw it up there, but right now, searching through the forums and everything, I can't find it. But I'm sure it's out there somewhere. That still really bugs me, though, because I would love to go back and see that original seed as it once was, but I don't know what else to try. I don't know if there's really anything I can do, so that's really unfortunate. But if you guys have any ideas whatsoever, give them to me. Anything that I could try. Because like I said, I tried copying and pasting the files into a new world, which I thought should work. I guess in a way it did, because it actually took the new version of the seed and plopped it into the world, but I want the original old seed, and I don't know if I can actually do that. But that's just a thought that I had. I don't know if there's anything I can do. If there is, and you guys have an idea, that would be excellent, but I don't know if there's really anything I can do. That would be so cool, though, if I could finally give that to you guys, because that has been, like, one of the #1 questions. People always ask, what's the seed? What's the seed? And every single time, I'm just like, I don't know, because I don't know how to find it specifically. And there's no other video out there where I actually show myself looking at the list and then it shows a different number other than 0, because that feature didn't come out until, if I remember correctly, 0.7.0, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And I made the world back in 0.6.1, so for all I know, that bug could have taken place long before we even had the option to look at the seeds. And that's it for this video. If you guys have any ideas on what I could try, leave them in the comments, and I'll get the seed out to you guys someday. In fact, I want it too, just to kind of go back and maybe even redo the world in like a different way. That could be a fun little thing I could do. But guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.